are talking about primarily preparing for disaster, but part of preparing is experimenting with drying materials out and learning how to deal with them ahead of time. And we always save our discards for practicing all kinds of things, repairs, whatever, including practicing for disasters. So if your book is damp, and we'll talk more about this later, if your book is damp, you can air dry it. And this is a damp book. And I'd like to have you send this around and touch. You'll notice it's a little sticky. And sending this around, the last person that gets this, I would like them to set it out and air dry it. And this is the real high-tech way of air drying a book. And we'll see how far it has come at the end of the presentation. So this is what a damp. And the reason I'm doing this is if it's beyond damp and soaking wet, then your freezer will do. And you put it in, you notice I said that was sticky. These books do get sticky. And if you put several into a freezer at a time and you don't put a liner between, they're going to stick together and then you're going to have even more problems. But we will talk about why you would stick it in a freezer. But one of the reasons would be if it's really, really wet, you'll need to do more than air dry. And this buys you time. You can shove things in a freezer and wait until you've got a team or a table or time to work on it. This is starting to thaw, but this is and the last person can just lay it on its side. Don't fan it or anything. Just leave it on its plastic. Now this one was fairly wet and we air dried it. And now what we'll do, and again it feels counterintuitive, we'll just get a little spray bottle like you use for misting plants. We'll lightly mist the pages and then put it in a press. And if it comes out flat, then that's done and it'll go back on the shelf. It might be that the text block will flatten, but this will still be warped, and then we'll send it out and get it rebound. So I'd encourage you to have, some fun day where you go and take some books and things and throw them in water and play with it and see. And just play around and do like what we do. Just play with it and see what happens. You'll be more comfortable then if you ever have to deal with it. Now, one of the things on the chart will say, don't air dry coated paper unless you've got and pulled every single page apart. This is real important that these get shoved in the freezer right away, that they're not allowed to air dry because they're going to stick together and they're not ever coming apart because the material that's the coating has stuck to each other. That might be one reason why that area might have top priority, just because it's going to need to have fast response. It's the coating on it that's, when it's sticky. So it's that gloss. Typically magazines, art books probably.